Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Maneet. I'm the graphic designer here at Vibrant Performance, and this is my 1999 Subaru Impreza. Alright, this is my 1999 Subaru Impreza. Started life as a $1,000 beater that I got off a friend, and now, as you can see, it's come a long way. It now has a built motor, 6-speed transmission, and a bunch of Vibrant Performance goodies. As you can see, I got the HD clamp on, as well as the Vibrant Performance catch can, and now we got the new HD power filter, making sure it gets the cleanest fuel it can. Other than that, I have an ABW Motorsport widebody kit on it, and some Advan RG1s to help fill out these super wide flares. The reason why the car is here today is because we're installing a new HD power filter. So here in Canada, it's pretty common for us to use just pump gas because we don't have access to 85 at any of the gas stations. And for that reason, we want to make sure the car is getting the cleanest fuel it possibly can. Definitely want to protect the built motor and make sure that, you know, there's no dirty fuel going through it and potentially risking a lean condition or anything that might throw off the tune. All right, so I guess the first thing we're gonna do here is figure out where we want the fuel filter to go. So the original one, you can see the feed is right here, and it kind of just 90s right into this fuel filter. And that's kind of where I wanted the HD power filter to go, but it's obviously not really gonna work. So what we did with the help of some CAD, cardboard aided design, was make these brackets. We want to utilize these two mounting holes here, so essentially it's just going to end up like that. We could have bolted it right to this, but it was hitting the hood. So now with our new brackets, what we can do is kind of just have it live right up here. And the beauty of this is that our feed can shoot right into here, and then we have a T that goes into each separate fuel rail, and that's just going to come out of here and go down. So super simple. And another great point of that is because of the hood scoop, we're going to be getting some fresh air to cool off all the fuel. The next thing that we're going to do here is just start disassembling everything. I'm going to take the fuel filter off first because obviously it's getting replaced. So just one important thing to note here, be sure to use a Vibrant AN wrench just to prevent any scratching and marring on your nice Vibrant fittings here. There it goes. All right, that's one connection off the fuel filter. All right, just crack this open. All right, there's our not so OEM fuel filter with a gauge still on it. So in case you are interested in running a setup like this is literally a part that we sell. So this is our tube to AN flare adapter. It's really great for adapting those OEM hard lines to the rest of your AN fuel system. All right, so just got done taking off the old fuel system components here. Still leaking a little bit of gas, but that's okay. Now we're gonna unbox our new HD power filter. This is a Vibrant Performance signature product. So first things first, you get your little QR code instructions that'll take you to a document that basically tells you how to put everything together. And there it is, Vibrant HD power filter. So that's the filter body there. This is our 10 micron filter. And that's it. We'll put this thing together. I also have the HD power filter brackets. So the raw aluminum is just parts that we made to kind of adapt it to our system here, but this is a separate part number. So the idea is you just get however many you need. In this case, we needed 2. And obviously we have -6 PTFE here and assortment of fittings. I'm also using this is going to be necessary, by the way, for whatever fuel system you use, -12 ORB to 6AN or whatever your fuel system size is, because these are 12 ORB ports. All right, let's put this thing together. Next step here, install our HD power filter brackets and the custom brackets that we made to mount it to the intake manifold. We have a washer set up here just to keep it level because there is a bit of a dip. So just wanted to make a point that these aren't completely finished yet. This is kind of just a pretty basic setup, but in the future I'm definitely going to finish off some of the edges and maybe powder coat them to match the color of the intake manifold. This is more or less just for mock-up purposes and to get the car running again. HD power filter going in. Look at that. Looks pretty awesome with the Vibrant Performance catch can and pinless HD clamp. Okay, so the next step here, since we have the power filter all mocked up, is to adapt it to the existing fuel system. So I'm using a -6 fuel system. So the part number I used was 16816. That's a 6AN to 12AN ORB adapter. That's basically just going to bring the size down so we can connect our 12 ORB HD fuel filter to the rest of the fuel system. And this just threads in like that. So I'm kind of just mocking up what fittings I want to use to make sure the line doesn't bend too much. So I've got a 30-degree 6AN PTFE fitting here. I'm just gonna try and thread it in to make sure it clears the reservoir here. Alright, so we got our 30-degree fitting on the feed there, and I think what's gonna work the best is a straight fitting on the inlet. That way kind of have a slight bend and go straight in. I would maybe prefer 45 here, but I don't want it to touch this because with vibrations and over time that might just cause a little bit of damage, so I think that'll work out pretty decent. Alright, so since we have our fittings all organized and set up the way we want, we're going to head over to making our lines. So for that we're going to be using the Vibrant hose cutting shears here, which is an important tool because it makes sure you cut your lines all straight and doesn't destroy anything in the process. We're going to use self-adhesive tape. This basically ensures that you don't get any fraying when you're cutting your lines. Obviously I have my roll of -6AN PTFE and a Vibrant aluminum AN wrench and our aluminum vice jaws to hold the lines together when we're assembling. So we marked off just where we're going to cut the line to make sure it's in the correct position. And what we're actually going to do here is go over to our aluminum vice jaws. What this does is it kind of helps you square up your line because it's pretty important that you cut this straight. If you cut it on an angle, your fitting's going to be at a weird angle and it won't see properly and you're going to get leaks and all these problems. This will ensure that you're evenly distributing the clamping force here, and then once you're ready and all squared up, you kind of just cinch down, and there you go. Something we learned in Kyle's video, which is when you have two non-swivel fittings on a line, it's important to make sure that they're clocked correctly. And it becomes kind of difficult to do that when you have a tight space. I don't know if you can see that, but we have a fitting down there that we need to make sure it stays in that orientation with regards to this being in the same orientation. What we're gonna do is kind of try and see where this fitting is straight at the bottom and just make a little line to make sure we can match that when we're assembling it. So we just finished up making all our lines. You can see the feed goes into a T, and then we got our return here. While we were here, we just tidied up some of the other bits that were kind of in the way. But we're just gonna double check that everything's nice and tight, and then we'll prime it and see if this thing fires up. All right, so we just primed the fuel system. It held 50 PSI according to our gauge there. So we're gonna go ahead and fire it up, see how it goes. All right. I think rotational idle was on, so it was kind of lumpy, but worked. All right, guys, so that pretty much wraps up the Vibrant HD power filter install on my car here. As you can see, we got it mounted right under the hood scoop. We're also gonna get some cooling action, and we got it all plumbed up with our Vibrant hoses and fittings, and I think it looks awesome. We're gonna go take this thing for a rip, but if you guys like the video, be sure to subscribe, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to get back to you.